Hi everybody, it's Mick Lebinskas here. I'm the author of She's Building a Robot, and today we are lucky to be joined by Sania Akram, who's joining us from Islamabad in Pakistan. Hi Sania, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm great. How are you?
Excellent. Very, very hot here in San Francisco, but wonderful to be connected to you, and thank you so much for reaching out and sharing your story with us today. Can you start by telling us what do you do in the world of technology?
All right. So I work in education technology company that is named Robotics, and I've been working in their curriculum department. Basically, we design STEM curriculum and their activities. Also, I've worked on different educational kits, hardware educational kits, like different robotic kits on which students can upload their programs and experiment with them, and then run them in their workshops. Uh, um, and also I've been working on different educational videos that can be featured on websites for e-learning purposes. So they are also technology related. So we try to inculcate 21st century skills in those videos so that the students can learn them. Yeah.
Fantastic. That's really interesting. Well, there's a lot for us to dig into there. Certainly with a book called She's Building a Robot, for someone who actually teaches robotics to kids, that is a really wonderful fit. Can you tell me how you first got into technology? Like, how was it a school teacher, a parent, or a program?
So basically, I was an electrical engineer, and as I graduated, I planned to go for teaching. I planned to go for lectureship in different universities, but then I didn't get a lectureship within the year of my graduation. So I started working on different online platforms, like there was an Got It Expert portal and a website named Slider, on which I worked because I love maths. So I used to teach maths over there. Then I got an interview call from this company Learnobots, where I'm currently working as well. So I've been working here for 3 years now. So they called me and I went for the interview, and I didn't know what STEM is. But once I joined over there, it was great, and I really enjoyed the experience of teaching kids, and specifically to my field, because I'm an electrical engineer. It's a merger of my field and teaching. So I love the work over there, and since then I've been there doing different things, all kinds of things over there, and I love my job. I never planned to change it. So it's been 3 years now, and we're in the same field. Yeah.
Fantastic. So you mentioned that you loved maths. Had you always loved maths, even as a young girl?
When I was in my primary school, I hated it because I didn't get a word. But after that, I got some really good teachers who taught maths really well. And since then, it was great. I was great in maths. I always scored I had the highest score in my class in maths. I used to teach my fellow students as well. So
that's great.
On the basis of that, I chose engineering. Yeah.
So it's very interesting that you work in education, and you acknowledge basically you're saying that the teacher still has a very big impact.
Exactly.
Even with all the technology and all the curriculums, a lot of the influence still comes down to a good teacher. And there are wonderful teachers and there are less wonderful teachers. I guess your whole career now, if you didn't meet those teachers who were inspiring around maths, then you may not be where you are today.
Exactly. That's how it is.
Yeah. And what about studying electrical engineering? Was that, and I particularly want to get into, was that a heavily male-dominated industry? Was that
Yes, it was. Actually, in Pakistan, in engineering, specifically, there's a ratio of 8 to 40, 40 males and 8 girls in my classroom when I was in engineering.
Four zero?
Yeah.
40. Okay. Thank you. Wow. 8 to 40. Well, at least you weren't completely alone. That's not too bad in terms of women, but the balance is still way off. And hopefully that's something we can certainly improve on over the next few years. And can you tell me with Learnerbots, is that a bit more balanced? Is that fairly equal in terms of boys and girls? Like what age group do you teach? And tell me more about that program. And
So Learn Robotics is basically, it was a startup. They started back in 2012, and I joined them in 2016. So I still, the company was at a very initial stage, but in these 3 years it has progressed a lot, and now it's not a startup anymore. Uh, Initially, they conducted workshop for students, and that was all. That was their only project. But now they have multiple projects and programs running around the whole, in fact, the whole country, as well as internationally. So the current
wow.
project I'm working on is an e-learning platform, and
Okay.
it's world's first STEM e-learning platform. And we have featured it at the BED show, if you have heard about it. So
Mm.
now
The
we are in
batch show.
the BED show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So basically, we are currently in talks with some South African clients, and there are Turkish clients, and also we are approaching different other countries as well. So it's the project, the current project. I think it's their biggest. It's going to be their biggest project, the most huge one. They have a product associated with it. The hardware kit, they're working on it, and it will be like one of those hardware kits, the toys that kids have with them, a toy robot they have with them. It's called Buddy, and it will be that, like, their whole, the one day partner.
Wow. Okay. And
Yeah.
in terms of the classes and events you run, is it fairly evenly balanced between girls and boys?
Not always. It keeps changing. Sometimes there are more boys in the class. Sometimes there are more girls in the
Okay.
class. So in this age group, I taught basically from 5 to 14 years of age. So we conduct
Wow.
different workshops. So there are different age groups. So there's a separate workshop for grade for age group 5 to 7. Then there's another for 8 to 14. So when we are teaching generic topics like robotics and stuff. So it's okay to have different age groups in the same class and sitting in the same classroom. Yeah.
Great. Okay, that's excellent. Well, at least the ratio is better than 8 to 40. So
Right.
hopefully things are going in the right direction. And what do you love so much about working in technology and
I've
and
always
building it?
loved building hardware, playing with wires and soldering and playing with different components. And then when something is running at the end, but whatever you made and whatever you worked on, the happiness that I get out of it is immense. So I loved working on different projects. When I was here, I was given some projects. For example, you have to design a small robot, it should do this and that. And we worked on those projects for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then sometimes we thought it's never going to work, but then after some time when it worked actually. And it was an educational kit basically, so it goes at different schools and it goes at to different clients, and when they comment about it, when they say it's a very good thing and whatever, so I feel accomplished about it, that I have created it and I have designed it.
Fantastic. Well, that's great. And what was the hardest thing about learning to be a electrical engineer and a software developer and working with robotics? What's one of the hardest things you found?
I think I was a very bad time manager,
Okay.
which I've overcame all these years. In fact, the bosses I got over there, the company I'm working in, they are great mentors basically. Because when I joined over there, I was just a fresh graduate. I was not professional. I didn't know how to survive in an office environment. So they taught me each and everything, like from the smallest work ethic to big technical stuff. So I really give this credit to them, that they have polished me a lot in these 3 years. And they told me that I am a bad time manager. I don't manage my work. I work really hard, like till 12 o'clock at midnight and till mornings, because of my bad time management. I used to work over. So they told me that you can manage your work more efficiently by doing this, by planning it better. And now when I do that, actually, I'm able to manage all my work within the 9 to 5 window I go to office. Yeah.
That's great. I won't pretend that I can teach you anything about good time management.
Mhm.
I work really hard at it, but I think every week is a challenge, and I'm certainly not naturally good at it. So I'm glad you're identifying, and thanks for being open and honest about those challenges.
Yeah, and there are other as well. Like when I got a team, first time when I led a team, because
Yep.
before that I was just given tasks and I used to do them. But when for the first time I got a team, I didn't know how to, how strict I should be with them and how lenient I should be with them. And I couldn't create a balance, and then things messed up. But then I was taught that there are some times when you have to be lenient, you have to give them space, they should enjoy it, they should have fun. But then again, you be strict, but whenever you be strict, you always go back to them and get a warm session with them so that they don't start hating you. So I have faced some bitter experiences as well, where one or two of my team members started kind of hating me for being too strict and for being too disciplined.
Yeah, look, leadership is really difficult, and again, I don't pretend to have easy answers. I think the thing I've learned over the years is that it is more important to be respected than to be liked, and
Yeah.
because you're in a leadership position, it's not about being friends with them. You're about getting
Yeah.
a job done. I don't think that means being horrible, but it certainly doesn't mean being soft or easy or letting things slide too easily. So, well, it's great that you're having these opportunities. What is your preference now that you've got some experience? Would
Yeah.
you rather work with machines or with people?
So basically, over this period of 3 years, I have worked on almost everything, starting from hardware to teaching to designing curriculum, even on graphics. So the current project I'm working on includes graphics as well, which was a new thing for me. I am not from a graphics background. I didn't know. But the most, like, graphics is the thing that I've enjoyed most here over
Wow.
here. So three animation, 2D animation. So currently the content I'm making, that is animated. So we try to explore different techniques that we can use to create those animated videos for kids, and according to their age group, how should the voiceover go, how slow should it be, how, like, it should be understandable for the specific age group. It should not be boring for that kid. So basically, thinking about all those perspectives, I am able to learn a lot about how you graphic design something, and I have loved that field because by nature, I have always been an artist. I love painting and I love doing all the creative stuff. So I really would like to get an opportunity to expand my expertise in graphic design. So if I get it, I'll pursue my career there as well.
Wow, and design has so many other areas. There's graphic design, user interface design, user experience design, strategic
Yeah.
design. So that's fantastic. There is so many more parts. It is one thing I've enjoyed about the tech world is that I've tried many different things and had
Yeah.
lots of experiences. So it's great you've had good exposure, but it'll be very exciting to see where you take it from now. Um, so that's really interesting. And what's um, when you're teaching and you're setting up programs to teach young kids about robotics or STEM, how do you find the right balance between engaging them and educating them?
Okay, so basically we design workshops first and then we conduct them. So while designing them, we keep that in mind that the whole PowerPoint presentation or whatever we are showing the kid, whatever content we are showing them, it should not be boring. So for example, if we want to teach the concept of electricity, or if we want to teach them that how electrons flow, so what we do is we are telling them that electrons are something very small particles that we cannot see in there. So this is one theoretical line that is meant for educating them. But at the same time, we call one of the kids or two or three of the kids over here where the teacher is standing, and we make them act as electrons, and we ask them to run around in a circle. So all the kids, they enjoy and they are always engaged into those, because hands-on experience is always engaging. So what we try is we keep including hands-on experience throughout the workshop so that kids are engaged. That's our first priority, and they should have fun. So, STEM education is all about that. You should be learning with fun and also hands-on learning.
Oh, fantastic. That's really good to know. And if there were young teenage girls who are thinking about, maybe they like maths, maybe they're thinking about robotics, maybe think about programming, do you have any advice for them to think about them being teenagers, what they could do, what they could study, how to think about where to start?
I think the best thing to do is whatever you like. When you do something that is your passion or you love it, then only you can excel in that career. So in this age, even in my age, you never know what are your interests and what is your passion. So the first thing every teenager should do is to discover their passion. They should explore different fields. They should try hardware. They should try software. They should try programming. They should try all the things that are futuristic, that that they think they have a scope in future, and then they should decide which of those things they enjoyed the most and then choose that as a career and excel in that. So I think at the age of 25 to 30, you keep exploring, you try different domains, you go into different fields and experiment.
Fantastic. And
Yeah.
is there a technology or a product or service that you've discovered recently that you love, that you'd like to share, that I think everyone should
uh,
try?
Technology.
Like maybe
Hmm.
it's a graphic design platform, or a wireframing platform, or a new tool that you've started using that you think is really cool.
Currently, I'm working on a lot of graphic tools. So I really would like to everyone to try animation. Animation
Okay.
is something you can express yourself in. You can create anything you want, and it's like it only your imagination is your limit. So I think everyone should at least try once animating any one thing in whatever they want. Yeah. So currently I'm learning After Effects.
Okay.
Before that, I've also learned Adobe Animate and other different softwares, that Photoshop and stuff like that. So
Okay. Very exciting. That's amazing. Well, thank you for sharing. Look, thank you so much. It's wonderful the work you're doing there. I'm glad you really love your job. It's great that you've been able to find a really good career, and there's a lot of good opportunities. You
yeah,
are absolutely an inspiration to young women who are excited about math and STEM, and all those components. So thank you so much for sharing your story with the She's Building a Robot team, and readers and listeners. And I really hope to stay in touch, and maybe I can come and do a workshop with you one day, or
that would be great.
and we should also get you to other parts of the world to share your story more, and to share more of the robotics joy. So, Sania, thank you so much for your time today, and again, thanks for sharing your story.
It was great. I really enjoyed talking to you.
Fantastic.